Good morning here, everybody. Trading within the box on April 27, 2024 at 11:21 a.m. We're going to be going over some weeklies too here. First of all, this is not a recommendation to buy, hold, sell any stocks, futures, forex, or any options or any equities in the stock market. This is an educational video only. If you'd like to purchase stocks, please contact a licensed professional or the brokerage house of your choice, and they will help you execute trades there. Okay, so let's go through it now. First of all, as we always do, we first go through the stock market to see what's happening actually in the stock market with the indices. Okay, so here we go. We got the W formation on the S&P 500. Now, like we said when we were coming down, remember what we said the other day when we did our video here? We came down, we were right here at the doji, and we said we were going to pull back, right? Now, we pulled back, and we got right off support. Now, look at this right here. We came right off support right here. We came back. We knew we were going to fail in this spot, but we wanted to see if we're going to break this little spot here. Now, we came back to support with a higher low right here. So let's see if we're going to get a reversal possibly here, or if we're just going to come back down and then do one of these. Let's just see. So now let's do volume analysis here on the stock market so we know what we're looking at here. Okay, so let's do it. So we come up on April 25th with 69 million shares. Okay, we go after the swing point with 55. So we knew we were going to get up and above it. Okay, we got more shares going into that area, and we closed inside that candlestick. So then we come down where we came into that. Now we're into the candlestick of April 15th with 92 million shares coming down. Okay, so now we're going up with 64. So we're into this candlestick with lighter volume here. So don't be surprised that now we also have resistance of 510.45. So don't be surprised if you fail in this spot right here, okay? Don't be surprised if you fail right here. Or they pull it back a little bit like this, and then they make another run towards it, okay? Let's see what they're going to do. How we'll know, as we always talk about, we always go to the 2-hour chart to see if we're still uptrending, okay? So right now, we have a little bit, good buyers, but we have a mixed bag. We have a little more sellers, too, at the same time, so a little bit of a mixed bag. We have higher lows, and we have a higher high, and we slammed into resistance on the 2-hour chart. So we'll see what's going to happen on Monday, what they're going to do, if we're going to pop this up a little bit, or if they're going to pull this back to here, okay? I added the 50-day moving average in purple so that you can see also what's happening when it goes down to the 50. A lot of people were asking me to add it, so I added it for them. Okay, you see it in there. Okay, so let's go to the bank basket as we always do, because the banks lead the way in the stock market always. And we have the other day when we did our video, we were right around here. Okay, so we pulled back to support. And we got dojis. Okay, so we got the dojis in this area right here, and we wanted to see if we're going to hold. So we come up. Let's see if we get this. Now, if we get engulfing and we get increasing volume, we could head back up here and just test that spot again. Okay, that markets change. They always change. So it's not anything like written in stone where like you think something could be in a downtrend and they start pulling it back, and then boom, we get the reversal in that spot. Okay, that could always happen too. Again. Okay, so right now we're holding the 50-day moving average on the 2-hour chart. Okay, so we're going to see. We have more now on the 2-hour chart. As of now, we have more sellers than buyers here, okay? So we're going to see. We're going to keep following, okay? We're just going to follow the money. This is not gambling. This is not predictions. This is just follow the money, okay? When you had the Japanese rice traders, they went by the candlesticks, right? So we have indecision here as the dojis are forming. You had more selling volume on the 25th of April, okay, on the XLF, which is the bank basket, okay. Always want to know what the banks are doing because they do lead the way, up and down too. So now we go to SMH, which is semiconductors, and look at the W formation right here, this little W right here, okay? So as we look at this right here, so we had that little W right there. So now on the SMH, which was stronger, okay, we went the other day, we were up in this area here, right here, this spot. So let's go to the volume analysis on the SMH, because we know what the semiconductors are doing all the time too. So on April 25th, we had 8.682 million shares, and we went into that candlestick down on the April 17th, coming down with 11.7. So going into that little bit of pressure there on Friday, we had less volume, 6.36 million shares going into 11.72 million shares. So you have to be careful, okay, in that spot. Now, we could inch up and then teeth up with lighter volume and then come back. That could very well happen. We slam over to the 2-hour, actually it's 1 hour. Let's go over the 2-hour chart over here. And right here, look at this. Come up and above, we're going to pull back to this spot. Let's see if we continue to go up, okay? Now, we had volume dying a little bit in this spot up in this area, okay? Trying to race through this because we do have a lot of stocks to go through. The IWM, which is the speculators, these are the small caps. And as you see on the 2-hour chart on the small caps, let's look at it. We slammed into resistance here, okay? So we hit a wall 2 times right in that spot, okay? Let's go over to, now watch we're slamming into this area here. Let's do volume analysis on April 26th, which was Friday, yesterday, okay? We have 24 million shares, okay, going into 41 and 35. So we're going in, we're coming down stronger, we're coming down light, coming up lighter, okay? Let's go over to the weekly chart, and the weekly chart right here, we are, let's look at our line chart, and we have a V-shaped formation here. Now, remember this too. Remember when you come to weekly support levels, okay, look at the 50-day moving average, okay? That's a huge buy area for a bounce. And remember, when they're shorting and you get 3 huge candlesticks down or 3 huge candlesticks up, you will get a break in the action, okay? So that's what happened here. But as we look at the weekly chart, with increasing selling volume, and we have lighter volume coming up, doesn't mean we can't continue to go up, okay? Let's go to weekly really fast on S&P 500. And again, this is not a surprise. We were at support, major support level on the weekly chart at 495.41 at the 20-day moving average, okay? So that's why you're getting these bounces, okay? That's why you get bounced. Same thing here. XLF didn't even make it to the 20-day move. Made it close to it. Capitulation candlestick, okay? But more sellers. Look at the bigger picture here, okay? Look at the bigger picture as you're heading down with the stochastic on the weekly chart, okay? Look at the bigger picture here with the sellers, okay? More sellers coming down. You can get this, you can get the M formation and start heading down, okay? So that's a long-term, weeks away, let's say, okay? You always get these little bounces on the daily chart because they have to take their profits to big money, the smart money. That's what they do, okay? So now let's go over to Microsoft on the daily chart. Typed in the wrong symbol. It's MSFT. Microsoft, we go over to the daily chart here, and what happened now? So now we said earnings. Remember what we said with earnings, what they do. They always drop it, and they try to, I don't know if they scare everybody out or whatever the deal is, but you got to be careful in earnings anyway when you're with your stock. We had the Doji come up to the 50-day moving average, the 9-day crossed the 50-day, and we got pressured down with the 20 almost crossing the 50-day moving average, okay? A lot of times they'll call that the death cross, okay? So right here, we come back, we come to support. They buy it back. Now they have a huge capitulation candlestick with a lot of volume right there. Buying it back. Okay, boom. Now you're slamming into a major daily resistance spot right here. Okay, right now you closed at 406.32. Okay, you were at, I think at one point the high here was 413. Okay, so let's see how they sold into that spot right there. So we want to see if we're going to pull back again. Let's go to the 2-hour chart. As Richard Dawson used to say, the survey says, survey the land. What's going on here, okay? Look at the volume and then look at how they sold into that. Now, let's see if that's going to hold right there. We hold, and then we get the engulfing and we start heading up again. Let's see if that happens again in that spot. So that's what we're looking for on Microsoft, okay? Let's go to the weekly chart because it's the end of the week. It's Saturday here. And what do we got going on here? Look at it, capitulation right off the 20-day moving average again, Okay, it happened last week, and it happened again this week. Okay, so let's see. We're resting on that major support area right on the weekly chart. Let's go over to Apple now. So Apple, the phone giant, iPad giant, okay, right here. Let's go to weekly chart, and let's go to the line chart, and we have nothing there. So we have a massive sell signal the week before, last week, the week of April 15th. Okay, now you come back up. Let's see if we teethe back up to this level here. We have a resistance level right at the 20-day at 173. Let's go over to the daily chart here, okay? And as we go over to the daily chart, we're at the 20-day moving average, and we get the profit taking right here, okay? Right into this spot. We had the breakout failure. And what do they do with the breakout failures? Okay, you break out above these moving averages, and then boom, they slam them because nowhere else for the follow through. So the shorts win, and right there, boom, they slam you down. Now you lurk around the support area where they have to cover. So now they cover for a few days, but you get dojis and you get a little bit of a reversal candlestick right there. So now let's go fast over to the to the 2-hour chart. And on the 2-hour chart, what do we see here? Okay, so we came up, we held, we came up, we came sideways with a little bit of buying right there in the pre and after pre-market the day before. And then yesterday, you pull back and you have more selling volume here, okay? So let's see if this is going to break down a little bit here, because now we got the sellers coming in here a little bit on Apple. Now, Apple is weak. See it over here? We had 1, we had 2, we had 3. So let's say we're at the 3, the third level of peaks here, okay? You can see it right here as we go 1, 2. And then let's call this around 3. So, because this was kind of right at the same level. So this is 3 right here, okay? So let's see if we're going to get this back. Now, if this holds, we get the W, head back up to the 50-day moving average. Remember, you're still downtrending here on Apple. We'll see if it starts basing and losing its steam as we keep going along and keep watching, following the money. NVIDIA. Now, the big dog NVIDIA, right here, okay, we got the W formation, okay, so look at the W formation on NVIDIA. Now, that is a beautiful W formation. Not saying that that's going to be long-lived or anything like that, but you have the right side right there, right side of the W higher, okay, so you can test those higher areas right there. That's what we're looking at. So now on NVIDIA, that's why this market's a trader's paradise market. This is a very difficult market here because you can get scared out very quick because you're downtrending here, right there, lower, see the lower lows, right there, lower highs. Okay, now let's say that channels looks something like that. Okay, now so that's what you got to be careful of here. Because you had to exchange your money here, you come back, you get the retest, you get the engulfing, okay? So, and then you come back up and you got out of this little mesh area right here. I call it this mesh area right there. Boom, you popped up, okay? So now you're going to be going after these swing points here. Okay, let's go do volume analysis. Friday, you had 55 million shares. You're coming into 49. You're coming into, on April 15th, you're coming into 44. Remember the 55. Okay, you're going to 43. So we should get to the top of this range at 904.53. Okay, and then 43 here. Okay, but remember this too. You're also going into here. So you're going to be teething up into 114 million shares. So remember what I always tell you about the magnet volume. Okay, the magnet volume is right here. Remember we went over that. Remember, this was the Friday that they said it was going to go break out and everything, and I told you it was going to fail in this spot, and it did, right? Okay. Now you're going into the magnet. You're into the magnet candlestick. Say it already. You're into the magnet candlestick right here. Okay. So they magnetize right to it. If you come back and start failing, you're going to magnetize right down to this one. Okay. That's what's going to happen. Okay. So right now, you're just following, you're following up and you're following down. Okay. The shorts were here. Okay. The shorts were, let's get rid of this for a second. The shorts were right here when we broke the support level. We had a sideways consolidation on the 2-hour chart. And then in the morning on April 19th, boom, we shorted right there, right down to support, and then the next support level, and then the covering started to come in. See the volume, right here? This was the exchange of money right here, okay? And then boom, the covering started, okay? Then we came back with a capitulation candlestick, a little more volume coming in, okay? Let's keep following money, okay? Right now on NVIDIA, there's some good money in here, okay? So let's say we pull back, okay? We got the moving average, okay? We pull back, and then we get the pop off the moving average, and we head to 958.13. Let's see if that happens. Now, the next stop is going to be 916.09 if we continue to go up. Okay, so we got 877.35 as of now. Okay, let's go over to the bigger picture, which is the weekly chart. Okay, and right now we have this going on. Let's look at the line chart. See this? Now this could be an M formation forming over the weeks. Okay, you could be getting this kind of thing. Okay, and then you could even get to the top of this range and then come back down. Okay, and you get the M formation. Okay, so let's see over time, not right now, but over time, if that's what's going to happen with NVIDIA. Okay, NVIDIA. Right now, let's go over to Amazon. AMZN is a symbol. Okay, Amazon. Now, when Amazon, look at W formation here. Okay, look at the W. Now, these are retest W's. You got the V. And then now, if you would have failed and you would have started coming down here, okay, that's what would have broke out that support line. So what you're always looking for is you got to get that retest. Okay, see how they retested over here? It came back, retested, came back, retested. That's how the W's form. Okay, and that's how the M formations form too on the reverse side. So right there, boom. But you do have a lower right side. And you do slamming right now into the 20-day moving average, which is resistance, okay? Now, you do have earnings. Be very careful. You have earnings on April 30th, okay, here. So if you're in Amazon, you got to be careful during earnings, okay? So now watch what happened with Amazon here, okay? You came up to the area. Now, what did we say last week? We came up to the moving average, right? And we failed. Boom. We came back and they covered heavy right here at 167.62. I'm just reading a storybook. That's all this is. I'm just reading a storybook. Right here, we came off the support area, okay? Boom. Now you got a massive jump because of the covering. You're slamming into the 20-day moving average, which is resistance right into this spot. Now, let's do volume analysis here, okay? Okay, so we came in. Now we're into this candlestick from April 24th yesterday on the 26th. 43.92 million shares going to 34, okay? You got 30 here, okay? You got 41, and you got 44, okay? So you got 31. So we can actually get up to this range. Let's see. Now let's go over to a 2-hour chart. And look at you have good buyers here right now. These are just trades off support here, okay? It's not long-term trading or anything like that, okay? Now what do you have going on a 2-hour chart? So that's why I'm saying you start getting more volume to kick in. You can go over to 184.40 right now. You're at 179.62. Let's see. Everything, things could change, But look at this, what you got going on here. You have a reverse head and shoulders, a bullish head and shoulders here with a capitulation candlestick right off support at that 169.15. Okay, so you see it right there. You want to get up to this range. Let's see what happens. Okay, as we go over to the weekly chart, look at the capitulation candlestick coming right off of that, right there. Boom. You can come up a little bit and you could come back down again. You have a weekly stochastic heading down, okay? So let's go over to, we're running late here. Let's go over to Tesla really quick. Tesla So I'm trying to talk fast here because we don't have much time. Okay, Tesla again. Now look at the weekly chart with the peaks. One. Now this is long term. Each one of these candlesticks is 1 week. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now you get more covering here. Okay, you get a velocity candlestick on the weekly chart. Now go to the daily chart and look at this. Now you got the dojis coming down, and you get the exchange of money right here. So let's see what they're going to do. Okay, let's see what they're going to do on Tesla. Tesla is right now is still not being supported yet. Okay. Let's go over to HD, and we go over to HD, and right here, Home Depot, we're still not being supported by the institutions, obviously, but we have 1 peak, 2 peaks, 3 peak, now 4 peak. Now let's see on Home Depot if we're going to base in this area. Okay, let's see what's going to happen here. We want to see if we get any basing here. Okay, now with Home Depot. Okay, we did have a little bit of a buy signal right here. Okay, we have a little bit of a buy signal. Let's see what happens now. This is just a covering here, so we don't know yet until we start getting, if we're going to go after this area right here on the April 24th 2-hour chart. Okay, and that high was at 342.79. So let's see what happens. Or if we just, boom, we come back and we fail. Okay, we're at the 20-day and then we come back. And then let's see what happens if that's going to form a W. Okay, let's see if we're going to base on Home Depot. Okay, let's go over to Goldman Sachs, and that was a sloppy mess at one time, and now look at this. Okay, you came up. Now look at watch the line chart here. Okay, that's why I always use your line chart to look at this. Look at that W right there. Okay, came back at another right side of the W. Right, then you had another one here. As you're heading to 430.79. Right now, this week closed at 427.57 on Goldman Sachs. But if you were in this trade just for a trade, you missed it already, okay? For now, okay? So everything's for now, right? So as we went into these areas, we knew we had higher volume going into these swing points. So that's why we knew we were going to blow that away and coming up, okay, on Goldman, okay? Let's go over to GDX, gold miners, and the gold miners dropped down to the 20-day moving average, and we had a buy signal right off of it, okay? There was a buy signal right there, okay? And where you're going up to the magnet again. This always happens. This is like almost every time. Come back to support, you got the magnet right there in the volume, right? You come back, that's a magnet. It's like an amazing magnet that you can't deny, okay? Now, you could come back and then come back up and test that 35.38, okay, on GDX, okay. So that's what we're looking at with the gold miners stocks. Let's go to the U.S. dollar, okay, and the U.S. dollar is lurking around distribution up here, right? We got up and above the resistance area, okay, and what's happening over here, okay? So we were losing steam up in this spot right here, okay. And let's go over to TLT, which is the 20-year 20-year bond, okay? And what do we have going on with the 20-year bond? We got all these little dojis, right? We got all these little dojis right in this area. Let's magnify it on a longer time frame and look at how TLT got killed on the weekly chart, okay? Let's see if we're eventually going to drift back down to 84.42. Okay, let's look at that now. What we got going on here? Let's go over to the inverse. We're doing the inverse, remember, with the DOG, which is the inverse of the stock market, okay? And that was like if you were going to short the Dow, you're going to buy this long, right? Okay, that's what you're going to do, okay? So when you go over to the line chart, look at the W formation forming here, okay, on the DOJ. So hopefully we're waiting for, with that W formation, as you see it right here, we want to see if we're going to get this type of thing, okay? That's what we're waiting for here, okay? We came up with nice increasing volume. We're coming back with a little lighter volume, right? So that's what we want to see if we're going to take off there or if we're going to pull back again, which that could very well do because we have a little pop in the market right now. Okay, so let's see what happens if that W is going to engulf, and then we're going to head up to 30.40. TZA, which is the reverse side of the 3-time bullish of the IWM. Okay, and on this one we came down. Let's just see here. We came down with 25 million shares. We come back with 16, so come back with lighter volume. Let's see if we hold this spot and then we go back up, okay? Or if they're going to break this down to the next level. Okay, that can happen too, okay? So that's not a surprise, okay? Because we're getting bounces right now. Let's go over to the energies. The energy sector was good for us, right? As we were coming down here on April 16th, and then we got the buy signal, okay, on April 17th. And then boom. Now we went into resistance here on Dominion Energy, okay? Now Dominion Energy, look at as we slammed into this area here, okay? Look how we slammed into this area. Let's see if we're going to get an M formation here. Let's go over to the weekly chart on Dominion Energy and look at this. Now, as we kept bouncing off these 20-day moving averages right here, we had two of the capitulations, okay? So once you get those, you got it right here too, and that's a huge buy signal. When you get two of them together, look at that. It's like 90%, okay? You had two of them here again, okay? So let's see. We're due for the pullback, right? We're due for the pullback to pull back to this point. Look, see how it kept pulling back to the 20-day moving average, okay? And there's the 9-day. So let's see if we're going to pull back here and get the capitulation. Then we make one more run towards it. Let's see what happens with that on the energy stocks like Duke Energy. Same thing on a weekly chart, going after the swing point on January 8th. Okay, and that had 13.41 million shares. We had 13.8, and then we had 12.27. So let's see if we're going to get that pullback on the energy stocks a little bit, okay? Let's go over to McDonald's because McDonald's came off the support area, remember? And then sold right into the 50-day moving average on the weekly chart around 280, okay? So we magnify it a little to the daily chart and look at this. We still had the downtrend, okay? We saw see how it slammed right into that area? And then boom. Okay, now let's see if this holds and then makes another run towards this spot. Okay, let's see what that's if that's what's gonna happen. Coca-Cola. Now Coca-Cola, same situation here with the spindle right into resistance. Okay, you have earnings on April 30th here. So let's see if Coca-Cola is going to pull back to the magnet. Okay, remember the moving average are magnets too. So you got a 9-day here and you got a 20 here. So let's see if we're going to pull back to the spot right here. Now, when you follow the 2-hour chart, let's say on Coca-Cola, okay, right now, you're not short or anything here because you're not dropping and then you're coming up to some records and you're failing. You're not getting that right now. Right now, you got a little bit of distribution. Now, on the 2-hour chart, you have more sellers than buyers, okay? More sellers than buyers there. Let's go over to Procter & Gamble and Procter. Let's go to weekly chart. Now, Procter & Gamble, you had the capitulation candlestick on a weekly chart when it went into resistance and sold off. Let's see on a daily chart what's happening here. It went right into that spot. You're pulling back, and you're pulling back to the 9-day moving average, okay? On a 2-hour chart, look at this, okay? You come below. So now you're below the moving average. You're below 20-day moving average here. So to pull back, you're going to have to get an engulfing to come down. Okay. And then you have support right in this area right here. Okay. And that area is at 159.64. Right now you're at 161.29 with the close of the week. Okay. With that said, I want to thank everybody for coming. Thank everybody for watching. Thank you for coming to Trading Within the Box. Please like, subscribe, and share my channel if you like the content. I hope this helps all my friends out there. And have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy family. Enjoy nice weather.